Did you know the money in your pocket has a history older than most civilizations? Let's dive into the fascinating evolution of money, from trading goats to mining crypto. Long before coins and credit cards, people used what's called the barter system. You had something I needed, I had something you wanted, so we traded. Grain for fabric, chickens for tools, salt for meat. But this system wasn't perfect. What if the person with shoes didn't want your apples? What if you needed something that no one was willing to trade for? Trade became slow, limited, and inefficient. That's when early societies started using commodity money. These were objects that had value on their own and were widely accepted. Things like salt, livestock, large stones, and even cocoa beans. One of the most widely used forms of money in ancient times? Cowrie shells. From Asia to Africa, these tiny seashells became a symbol of wealth and power. Commodity money helped solve the barter problem, but carrying cows or sacks of salt wasn't exactly convenient. Then came one of the most important inventions in financial history, metal coins. Around 600 BCE, in the kingdom of Lydia, in what is now Western Turkey, the world's first standardized coins were minted. They were made from electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver, and stamped with the king's seal. For the first time, value was measured, portable, and widely accepted. Coins spread quickly across the ancient world, used in Greece, Rome, Persia, India, and China. As trade grew more complex, even coins had their limits. In 7th century China, during the Tang dynasty, merchants began using paper IOUs to avoid transporting heavy metal. Eventually, the Chinese government began printing official paper money. By the 11th century, under the Song dynasty, paper currency had become widespread and was even backed by stores of precious metals. When the explorer Marco Polo visited China in the 13th century, he was amazed by how advanced their money system was. Meanwhile, in Europe, coins were still the norm, and paper money wouldn't catch on for several hundred more years. As the world modernized and international trade grew, countries needed stability. That's where the gold standard came in. Under this system, every unit of money was backed by a specific amount of gold. If you held a dollar bill, you could, in theory, exchange it for gold. People trusted their money more when it was backed by something physical. But over time, governments realized that tying currency to gold limited their ability to manage economies, especially during crises like the Great Depression. Eventually, nations switched to what we now use, fiat money. This type of currency isn't backed by gold, silver, or any physical commodity. Its value comes from trust in the government that issues it, and in the economy behind it. Today, the US dollar, the euro, the yen, all are fiat currencies. We accept them because everyone else does, and because the system keeps working. In the 20th century, money became even less physical. Credit cards emerged in the 1950s. By the 1980s and 90s, we had debit cards, ATMs, and online banking. People stopped carrying cash. Money became data, electronic entries moving between banks and accounts. Then in 2009, something revolutionary happened, the invention of Bitcoin. For the first time, we had a currency that wasn't controlled by any government, wasn't printed or minted, and wasn't even physical. Based on blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies allow people to send money peer-to-peer with complete transparency and no central authority. Today, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and thousands of other digital currencies are reshaping how we think about money, investment, and even identity. From bartering goods in villages to tapping phones at checkout lines, money has evolved with every step of human civilization. It's more than paper and numbers. It's a story of trust, innovation, and survival. So the next time you pay with your card or your phone, remember, it all started with two people, a few goods and a deal made by hand. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of money, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to Weird Fact Buffet for more surprising stories from the past and present.